Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Okay, so it's been a while since my last one as per usual, but there's been a lot of the things going on in the background, such as I got a new furnace, which meant I had to gut the entire mining room, bring everything out, take down all of the tubes and the exhaust, take out all the power because they needed to run a couple more tubes across through the mining room ceiling. So in this video, we dismantled the entire thing and we put it back together. It was kind of a blessing in disguise because I had been piecemealing, adding things, on the go with that room. So it kind of got a little bit cluttered, and some of the wiring was, the cable management wasn't great because I was just adding things randomly here or there, as well as the power management was good. The system is good, but there was just cables everywhere, and you'll see we get to clean up those, and we get to cut some Ethernet cables that were just wound up and added in there. So now everything's cut to size and the airflow is better, and I just feel like my OCD is now done. So that room is back, and our next project is we're going to be expanding to the shed. I'll do a piece on that. We just finished the first phase, which was building shelves for my storage, and then the other half is going to be 100 amp service for some more hosting. So stick around for that. This one's going to be pretty simple, just basically gutting the entire place and then putting things back in a proper fashion, nice and clean, with good cable runs and proper links. All right, hope you enjoy it, guys. Thanks. So they're replacing my furnace and I'm having to take everything out, all of the stuff that I had designed. It's all gonna come down, and I have to put in a new vent up there, which means I also have to get my internet moved, which comes around, blah, blah, blah. All of these network cables are gonna be cut to size. I've ripped everything out, and I'm going to, when I put it back, it's all going to be done properly. No more of this coiling up of cables. It's all going to be stored properly. I don't know how I'm going to get them stored properly, but it's going to look a lot better than it does now because everything just looks like crap. All right, I got a brand new furnace, which is excellent. But that meant that we had to disassemble the entire mining room so that they can get the new pipes drawn in outside. So everything's been taken down and it's a disaster. I also upgraded my Bell networking to 3 gig up and 3 gig down, so we're ready to go for that. But what I'm going to do now is, first I need to clean up this room, clean up the floor so I can actually walk, and then we're going to start organizing all the cables to length. We're going to be cutting all the all the Ethernet cables to proper lengths so that they're all drawn in the same area and they can reach the rack properly. And we're going to be drawing all of the power. I'm going to create kind of like a little box for these to go in, and then the power is going to be put directly into here. So anyways, we're gonna have to clean up all of this stuff and get it organized before we even think about start turning back on the rigs. Okay, so let's clean up this area first. Okay, so for the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unwire these affinity fans. I'm gonna make sure that all the cables are actually taut and not just like zip tied into different things. They're gonna go as far as they can towards the panel, and then we're gonna deal with all the excess stuff over there instead of having massive zip ties in the middle of nowhere. So we're gonna clean up this one first, then we're gonna get to the power cables that are coming in. So we're gonna make sure that all of these extension cords, which some of them are too long, we're gonna make sure that they're all tied up and properly run down here. We're also going to put an actual wood panel at the back of these, so these are a little bit more sturdy. Right now they're in the drywall, which is actually fine. Maybe I won't do that because they're not moving, but anyways, I'm gonna have to relabel everything and just start organizing things so that they're all the proper lengths and nice and tidy. Okay, we'll be back. All right, I know it doesn't look like much, but it's been a while and we finally have everything pretty much well cleaned up before we start putting back in the exhaust tubing. So all of the power cables are now drawn up through one single conduit. They're all tightly taut, labeled, and all the network cables are now coming out through the same conduit. I will eventually be moving this into the rack, so that's going to move, and all of these Ethernet cables are going to be cut to size. Everything has been drawn up. All of these extra wires that were coming out of the infinity fans, everything's been tightly put away. You can't see any of the things, especially when I put on the black covering here. So we're going to toss up some more sound material up at the top here, and then we're going to start putting back the hood fin and the other tubing to get that ready for when we put back the servers. So yeah, it's coming along, and if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, and it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's a lot more clean, and yeah, I'm going to be happy with the outcome. Okay, so we got the hood installed, and I've installed this basically this fire deterring fire stopper. So basically, if this hits like 70 degrees for like 3 to 8 seconds, then it explodes and it extinguishes everything below it. So I put it basically right above the electrical. The exhaust is going through here. I've already done tests back there. It doesn't get to 70 degrees because that would be tragic if it just went off by itself, but it's like 34 degrees Celsius, maybe 40 at some times, but it's nowhere near 50 or 60 or even 70. So it should work perfectly there, and all the equipment and all the electrical is down here, so it will just basically explode if there is a fire. So things are coming along good. We're going to install the top here where we have the other exhaust coming out, and then start piecing together the tubing to get it all set up. And then eventually, once all that's installed, we're going to be dressing out these Ethernet cables and put in the rack so that they're all perfect lengths. So anyways, it's coming together. It's been a long time, and yeah, it is a lot of work. All right, things are really coming along. We've got the first vent in here, and the vent is completely connected. Obviously, it's not connected out the window yet, but I taped up basically any holes here, so it's all being funneled through that one vent and comes out. Everything is taped up, it's strapped up and ready to go. So that one is done, and I'm also happy about the fire ball here. I had to put a basically a piece of wood back here so that it was out from the wall, and all the cables, all my Ethernet cables are coming over here, my internet box, the 30 amp circuit, and then these are the power cables here going up the wall, and again, cleanly all tidied up there. So nice. It's taking a long time, but perfection does take time. So we're gonna get going on installing the top base over there for the other vent, and then I think we'll be starting to put in some of the servers, but maybe not right away. I have to remove that and do a whole bunch of stuff. So anyways, stick around. All right, we're back at it after a couple of days. I had a lot of stuff to do, so I wasn't really able to tackle this, but we got the second pipe in. It's all taped up, and you can see the exhaust is coming through here, so it's all going to go up through this section here, and all the heat's going to basically just bounce off of here and kind of get sucked in through there. All of the power is done, and now actually what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to bring in his servers and start getting them put back into this spot, and then we will start doing the Ethernet cables to length after I bring in the other server. So it's coming along, and I'm really happy with how it's looking so far. So we'll just keep going, and then we'll power them on tonight. So that's excellent. Okay, so we've got all the cables wired up. Well, they're not wired up yet. I have to bring in the network switch, but all the links are done to basically where the switch is going to be. So they're all going to come through this up to the back of the switch. I had to crimp a couple of cables because they were just too long. I absolutely hate crimping Ethernet cables. I'm getting better at it, but it is not a fun job to do cables. So so far I'm going to have to do a couple for the lengths in the server rack, but I don't need to turn everything on in the server rack right away. So these ones are all done to size, which is great, and the back of the power is pretty much, well, as clean as I can get it if you remove these cables here. So it's pretty basic. Everything is zip tied down here. These aren't going to be as tight. I just have them taut right now. But yeah, there's like no cable mess at the back there. There's just one bunch behind there for that, and we got a couple of the servers plugged in, and here's the 30 amp circuit. It's not turned on yet, but it eventually will be. Nice and clean. So yeah, all right, I will bring in the server rack, and we have to finish setting up the exhaust. So basically just pull this through the windows. I have plexiglass that has cutouts, and then bring in the AC, and that's it. So yeah, probably another hour or so of work, and this job is done properly now. So I like it nice and clean. Cable runs, everything is perfect, and we have the fireball there. So hopefully that doesn't just explode by itself due to the heat of the servers. Hope not. Oh my goodness. All right, we just turned on some of the rigs. We're going to be turning on these, all of them, the whole gambit. I finally got the networking done. All of the everything is sealed back there, so none of the hot air can come in. It's all getting shot out there, just like it used to be. The AC's coming in, but everything's a lot cleaner right now. All of the cables, I mean, the tidiness is epic. So we've got a little bit of a water flow here, which we can zip tie, but in comparison to what it was before, everything is labeled, really organized, and the cables at the back there's no bunching of the cables, so that the airflow can just go right through. Yeah, this is awesome. The power isn't really being used, as you can see right now, but yeah, we are back up online, starting to mine, I guess, and that is it. Oh my gosh, if you want something done right, you got to do it properly, and it takes a lot longer than if you were just to throw it together. It may work the same, but it doesn't feel the same. So anyways, I'm gonna bring on these other rigs, make sure that all the GPUs are showing up, close off this section here. I have a bunch of fans. I have a rack mount fan here, which sucks the air from this dead pocket here, so it just keeps making sure that it's all going out the back. And yeah, everything seems to be turned on, and I'm really happy with it. Okay, we can move forward with the shed project now that this is all done and I have my new furnace. So all right guys, stay tuned for the shed stuff. It should be really cool, and yeah, stick around for the ride. It is pretty fun doing this for you guys. Thanks a lot. All right, peace.